What's happening, family? Peace and light, peace and love. And thank you for really connecting with me yet again. I am Shakesha, a divine priestess, a beauty mystic, an astronumerative intuitive, and the author of Holistic Appeal. You can get that shit on Amazon, huh? I'm here to empower with divine beauty, wisdom, and expression, shining light, shining bright, and giving thanks to the divine plan of love unfolding. Ashe. I want to send so much love and light out to my soul family. These cats is the star players, the light that's shining bright. They out here sharing gifts out here in these cosmic streets in some powerful and profound and impactful ways, specifically for me. These is those mystics out here. You are the true healers out here, and you are loved and appreciated, respected, and cherished for real, family. No doubt about it. So shout out and so much love to you all. Wanted to talk a little bit though, before I even get it set off, about, a lot of these transits that's going on out here in these cosmic streets. So we are already in this 8th year, right? And so the 8th year, of course, is guided by the energy, the Saturnian energy, right? But it also deals with that eighth house energy. So many of us have been getting these channels through that's been showing a lot of canine energy, right? The dog, the wolf, the coyote, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's been coming through. And a lot of those individuals that got that dog energy, like DMX, Nate Dogg, and Snoop Dogg, even though he has not crossed over, like his energy has been showing up in some profound ways for me. I remember, see, there was a time, I'm gonna just do this real quick because it's on my mind. But there was a time where I had a little bit of side eye when I noticed that this song called Murder Music came out. And you know what? I should have put this. Hold, let me see if I can find that shit on my thing. But every time I try to play music on here, it comes out all distorted anyway. But anyway, you got to look that shit up yourself. The song is called that, right? But what I noticed that was really like a little off was that, these was rappers that was older. Like we passed that part in our life, like in the 90s and shit. When I was coming up, I used to think it was the shit to be a hoodlum, to be a gangster and all of that other shit. You know what I'm saying? But as you grow older, as you start to evolve in your consciousness and shit, you know what I'm saying? Maturity sets in. You start to see the world a little bit differently, and you start recognizing how impactful those actions are. And even though the intention at that point in time doesn't mean that, I was on some evil, you know what I'm saying, twisted type of shit. It was more rebellious, empowered, power struggle type of energy, you heard? And that particular energy you outgrow as you grow older. So then I noticed that we had Snoop Dogg, we had Busta Rhymes, we had Jadakiss, and we had some other cat. I forgot who the hell he was, but they was all in this song, and all of these cats was like, somewhere circling around the age of 50, the age where you know better, right? So I'm like, what the fuck is this madness about? Now listen, the song is a banger. I tell everybody, like, you hear this song, but this is the way that they to make music of this particular vibration appealing. You put that banging ass beat to it and make it sound, you know what I'm saying, so authoritative, you know what I'm saying, so empowering and shit like that. It gets you motivated, you know what I'm saying, make you feel like you can conquer some shit out here. It's warrior music, and to put that on, especially for individuals that find themselves feeling like, there's a deficiency in power and everything. And to put that type of vibration out there, it kind of makes you feel empowered at the lowest frequency. You heard what I'm saying? And so with that, I noticed that this music has been putting out, and it's made me think about like the agenda that gets attached to a lot of these industries. And shout out to Cat Williams for coming out here blowing up the spot, confirming all of the shit that a lot of us knew about how this industry works, where there's certain exchanges energetically in order for you to be able to be successful. And what I saw with that song, that Murder Music song, for them to put a song out like that was confirmation for me that this shit right here is all about this agenda, about you making sure that you're fitting into this agenda to lower the frequency on this planet. But guess what? It's not going to work. And so then I noticed when Snoop Dogg purchased Death Row, he put out this beautiful, he started producing music. He didn't put this shit out himself. But he put out this beautiful artist called, I think, October London, who put this song out called Mulholland Drive. And it's a whole record that it seems, I think that this is tapping into that Marvin Gaye vibration, that frequency right there. Now, Marvin Gaye is an Aries. We are in the North Node of Aries. So this is all about that energy of taking charge, that Mars energy and shit like that. We need to be aware of how this shit works out, right? So him putting that shit out, that Mulholland Drive, that positive vibration, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? He started off with a high vibration, sitting on top of the world, baby. You know what I'm saying? And that whole song is just a whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? I recommend everybody check that shit out. I've been rocking with that shit for quite some time right about now, because it's just an elevating song. And I want to give that shout out to Snoop for putting that out there, helping to balance out that energy, especially that he put out with that bullshitting ass Murder Music song. Now, like I said, it is a banger, you know what I'm saying? But that's what the purpose of it is for it to be a banger, so that you'll look past the vibration of what's being said, the vibration of what's being put out there, and just boogie on down to the beat. You know what I'm saying? We got to be aware of this shit out here in these cosmic streets. And so today I wanted to talk a little bit about how this energy flows, and looking at a lot of this shit that we are beginning to experience. With this being an 8th year, this 8, not only is it dealing with Saturn, it being a karmic year, we seeing a lot of shit being exposed, the spots being blown up and all of this other shit, right? 8 also, we can also look to the 8th house in astrology, and that 8th house, it deals with that Scorpio energy. Scorpio is also just like Aries, ruled by Mars, but then with a twist on it, right? With Pluto. And so we see these transits that's coming through, fam, where Pluto is shifting into Aquarius. I want to hold up, where my astro calendar at right here? Hold up, let me see. Make sure I got the right one, because whatever the hell this thing pop up. But shout out to astrology.com, is a really valuable source to keep me, on point with where these transits is at. So I definitely recommend y'all checking that out too. So far this week, we got Mercury in Capricorn is sextile and Saturn in Pisces. And when that energy comes together, you're motivated to reach your goals and be a lot more productive, right? And then tomorrow, Venus in Sagittarius is going to square Neptune in Pisces, right? So this is a day that's not really that good for socializing and shit like that, because people can be all in their feelings and shit like that. So it might be in your best interest to stay the hell out the way tomorrow with that particular energy. But also Mercury in Capricorn is trining Jupiter in Taurus. So this is an optimistic aspect, it says, that can bring good news when it comes to a career. So maybe that job and shit you applied for or something like that, the business plan that you've been putting together, things start working itself out and you'll be able to communicate your ideas a lot better. So this is going to be some energy that's really going to be supportive of any of those goals we may have in those particular areas, right? And then we have the sun, of course, in Capricorn, conjuncting Pluto in Capricorn. This is tomorrow. Tomorrow is a big energy day. Tomorrow, I'm sorry, let me make sure that I'm clear because people hear this at different times. January the 20th is tomorrow. Not tomorrow, I'm sorry, Saturday, my bad. Tomorrow's the 19th. Today, right now, where I'm recording, is the 18th. But on Saturday, January the 20th, this is a big energy day. This is a Saturn day. Saturn, you know what I'm saying? Saturn, we know, is that big Capricorn energy, right? So the sun, this is right when we are making that transition from Capricorn into Aquarius. So this energy is going to be real big, and it's going to shift in a powerful way. We got the sun that's entering in Capricorn. It's going to be conjunct with Pluto in Capricorn. So this is a powerful aspect, and this is the last time that we meet that this energy meets up in Capricorn. So this is a day where you can start really securing your legacy. You know what I'm saying? Focusing on your goals that you achieve, because this is a time for you to really get out here and do the damn thing. This is a time for you to operate with intelligence, with strength, be courageous out here in these streets, and really show your ass to these lower frequencies that think that they got the upper hand out here in these streets. I assure you, they do not. Then on this same particular day, this sun is entering Aquarius. Shout out to my baby girl Trinity, who will be turning 29 on this particular day. A powerful Aquarius energy. She calls herself a Cap Aquarius. You understand? And this right here, this energy is going to be super impactful for her. She's turning 29. I cannot believe this shit. You know, that don't mean I'm old though. But what I'm saying is that my baby is turning this age, and this energy is going to be particularly impactful for her because that 29, when you add that together, it brings that 11 energy. And that 11 energy, fam, this is all about transformation. You know what I'm saying? It's portal energy, like in a big way. So I am looking forward to seeing some tremendous shifts in her life. This child right here is smarter than the average bear, and definitely has the social skills, the savoir-faire to navigate just about any situation. I see big things happening for her. There's a light around this child, no doubt. And I'm not just saying that shit because this is my baby, but I'm just here to tell you, this is that Aquarius energy anyway within itself. But on this particular day, this is about really closing out that old cycles and embracing the possibilities of starting that new cycle when that sun enters Aquarius. But then when Pluto joins, see, we had a small little time, you know what I'm saying, to dip our toes into Pluto being in Aquarius last year. It's going to be back for a little bit, you know what I'm saying, where it said, hold up. Let me check this out, because I just caught something. It said, while it will retrograde, hold up. It says, wow, it's going to retrograde more than one time in Capricorn later this year. So it's going into retrograde. There's still a big moment for us because it's an important transit of the decade. Now, listen. We go visit for a little bit. I didn't realize that this shit was going retrograde. I'm like, oh, wait, what? So it's going to go back into Cap. We go dip our toe into Pluto and Aquarius again. This is big energy. This is really propelling you forward, setting you up for what's coming on down the pike. Then we go get this retrograde in Capricorn, checking in, seeing if we still want to do shit the old way. You understand? Then we shifted back into Aquarius. I believe that's going to be like in November, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? In those months further on down the line where we stay there for the next 20 years. This is some big ass energy, fam. This is some big ass energy. And this is a powerful time for us to really start thinking about what we do and moving forward in this new cycle. And shout out to Rod Hayes and a lot of the other most gangster mystics that's out here in these streets, just really giving us the what so with this energy and telling us about how this is the ending of a Kali Yuga cycle. Now, I know that we got this information about how it's, you know, several thousands of years and this and that and the other and everything, but apparently from, you know, what the teaching is that it's broken down into sections in the cycles and everything. And this particular cycle and where we're at is shifting. And this is a really optimal opportunity for us to move forward and start really making plans, laying down foundational shits for how we want to see things moving forward. A powerful, powerful time. New cycle, potential for great transformation. So last year we was dealing with our seventh house, and that seventh house is all about like balance, justice, because it's ruled by Libra, right? The seventh house is ruled by Libra, and Libra also is the planet that holds over that is Venus, right? So this is all about our relationships, our connections and everything. But then Libra, it deals with balance, it deals with justice and all of this other stuff, not just out here in these streets, but also to ourselves, right? Have we been being fair with ourselves in our exchanges? And so now, right now, in this 8 year, because now it was bringing a lot of shit to consciousness, right? We was just like really reevaluating our circle and shit like that. Still a smart thing to do, because I'm seeing some residual energy, and this is what's really having me talk about this eighth house energy. Because this eighth house energy right here, this is where the water runs deep. This is the realm of Scorpio, of course. And this is the realm of transaction. You know what I'm saying? With your conversations, with your money, sexual transaction. You know what I'm saying? This is the truth of where we are. The shit that we hide, secrets, jealousy, resentments and shit, real truth. But when we deal with this shit, it allows us to really be prepared for the following year, which is the year of 9. 9 is ruled by Sagittarius. This is the realm of the sage. You know what I'm saying? This is when we start elevating our consciousness and moving in the higher levels of consciousness. So it is so essential that we allow this 8th house, this shit right here, to really allow us to elevate in our consciousness if we're brave enough. So let's talk about these themes on the 8th house. The 8th house, it deals with intimacy, sex, secrets and fears, death, regeneration, your shared money and possessions, right? So the 8th house, it rules sex, it rules death, it rules taboos, traumas, and fears. It also governs intimate agreements around your money and possessions. This is sensitive shit. This is where we cultivate our intimacy with others. You see how this shit, it builds up, right? From the 7th house, now we on to the 8th house. And this is like kind of diving deeper into our connections with things, with the world, with how we really feel so that we can interact on a more, on a more, what is the word that I'm looking for? In a more expansive way. So by exposing ourselves this way, we are forced to confront our shadows and things that make us more vulnerable, right? Okay. So then, see, and this is why I do believe that I was getting all of these channels, all of these downloads with these dark goddesses and everything, because see, the dark goddesses, when you work with that, you know, they hang around that 8th house energy and everything, right? See, this is undertaking on this whole particular energy right here, it inspires a process of transformation so that we can move more towards our true selves. You understand? See, this 8th house is a place of death. It's a deep bonding, deep sharing, and deep transformation. This is when we go in beneath the surface for these relationships that we develop that's in the 7th house of partnerships and cultivate more profound intimacy with other folks, right? But we got to establish this intimacy within ourselves. We got to really make sure that we true to who we are, we know in ourselves. See, this is that whole energy I started talking about where we don't really want to deal with that shit. Not me, no, hell no, it's them over there. And so we can sit back, we can pick apart the celebrity. We can pick apart everybody else over there, the neighbor across the street, all these other motherfuckers. It certainly ain't us. All right. This is that territory of the subconscious mind. Your fears, your traumas, your secrets, your taboos, they all live here in this 8th house. You understand? This describes your ability to transform by conquering the darkest parts of yourself. We all have it. The 8th house, it demands that we dig down and reveal the parts inside of us that we're too scared to share with others. We don't want to do that. We don't want to go the fuck there. It ain't me. I'm perfect. You know, I'm going to let y'all know. I am not like you. Perfect. Okay. I got shit to do. I got work to do. And I've been doing this work and it has been helping me along my journey. And one of the things that I've learned with dealing with this whole particular energy, because if you look at my chart, my astrology chart, it show you I got a whole lot of shit to deal with as far as this eighth house energy is concerned. And as I started doing this particular work, I started noticing a lot of the shit that was triggering me before, a lot of the shit that used to get up under my skin that I was taking personally, it don't really hold that charge of energy no more. See, dealing with this energy, the eighth house, it describes your ability to transform, you see, by conquering the darkest parts of yourself, right? See, the eighth house is about releasing the grips of your past so that you can move freely into the future. If you're willing to face this discomfort that most of us try so fucking hard to avoid, you can emerge on the other side happier, healthier, and more whole. You understand? It is essential work we're talking about. Essential work. So let's talk about like these planets in the eighth house, because like I said, I got some major planets in there and everything. My eighth house is Aries. I got Jupiter there. I got fucking Chiron there. You know what I'm saying? So I had a lot of work to do. And my North Node is Scorpio. So I had a lot of work to do, a lot of subconscious shit, a bunch of fucking shit to unpack. Y'all need to know that. See, so I'm delivering this shit because this is what I had to do. And I thought this is how we grow. This is how we get that shit, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I take the shit that I've been doing and share it with everybody else, because I feel like potentially, possibly, if you feeling drawn to what I'm talking about, perhaps we got a lot of similar situations. You heard? So let's talk about these planets in the eighth house. If you got planets in the eighth house, you may have to dig under the surface to learn more about them, because these planets, they can reveal a lot about intimacy, vulnerability, and transformation. Okay. So let's talk about, I'm gonna go through just real quick, briefly. If you got the sun in the eighth house, you are definitely not a shallow person, and your magnetic presence is often felt by others, right? But you also might be a little hard to read. All right. I'm gonna keep it moving. Just a brief little overview. The moon, right? Well, I'm gonna tell you something. If you've been accused of being oversensitive, you might want to check in with that, right? Because folks that have that moon in the eighth house, they feel emotions tensely. They don't just um um you know, notice it and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? The key to navigating this shit, you got to make sure that you're not obsessing over those feelings and shit like that. You got to have intimacy with yourself and others. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what's going to help you to feel secure, to feel fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? That moon in that eighth house, that's a tricky little situation to navigate. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, huh? You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we all got that shit. We got to work, right? So let's get it, y'all. All right. So when you got Venus in that eighth house, your desire for depth and intimacy means that you're not just a casual dater out here in these streets, and you try to create a little bit of drama. See, this is the thing. You know what I'm saying? That Venus in that eighth house. You know what I'm saying? You know, just a little bit of drama, just to feel that heat of passion. You know what I'm saying? But you got to watch out for being possessive and jealous, because see, those fears of betrayal, you know what I'm saying, they kick in and they start making you feel a little possessive, you know what I'm saying, a little jealous, because jealousy is some eighth house shit. You need to know that. And that's big energy that I'm seeing that's coming across the board, is this jealousy energy and shit that's going on. Now listen, we all experience that on some level or the other, but when we got understanding of the star player that we are in this game we call life right here, then we realize that the divine has enough light for everyone to shine. Ain't no need for that bullshit at the end of the day. You heard? When you got Mars in your eighth house, you're passionate about something, and your drive can get you all the way to the top when you feeling this way, baby. You got a powerful sex drive and a strong interest in any of the shit. All of that unknown, occult, taboo shit, you know what I'm saying? That Mars in that eighth house. Yeah. All right. So when you got Jupiter in that eighth house, if there's a problem to solve, you the person that they need to be calling. You the detective in these streets. Your powerful intuition, your keen perception, it makes you a great researcher or a lawyer. Like I said, you the detective in these streets. When you got Saturn in that eighth house, you might not do so well with change. It may be hard for you to do that because, see, Saturn is about those limitations and everything. But don't make letting go harder than what it needs to be. Resistance only makes growth more uncomfortable. You got to step out that comfort zone in order for you to grow. Know that. When you got Uranus in your eighth house, your comfort with shaking shit up and exposing the truth and pulling the rug from up under may make people uneasy at times. And that's certainly not going to stop you. Wonder if Cat Williams got Uranus in that eighth house, because he don't give two shits in these streets, huh? Jaguar, right? All them niggas. I wonder if that's where they eighth house is at. All right, but Neptune, there's an intuitive nature about you, even to the point of being psychic. So Neptune in that eighth house, this can distort who you trust though in those intimate relationships, especially around your money. You know what I'm saying? Property, finances, and shit like that that you may be sharing. You side-eyeing folks and shit like that. Watch out for that and really be. Trust that intuitive point of view, but not to the point where you sitting around side-eyeing everything. And you know what I'm saying? Because that sucks the joy out of life all day, no doubt. Okay, when you got Pluto in the eighth house, your soul has patterns depending on the external sources of power. It might be relationships, it might be resources and shit like that, right? But when you have Pluto in your eighth house, you're being asked to eliminate these limitations and find that power within yourself, you see. And then I wanted to definitely deal with Chiron because I got a Chiron in that fucking house. And, you know, it's just, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Loss, abuse, manipulation in the early home environment may make it difficult for you to get close to or trust others, especially when it comes to shared resources and deep intimacy. So when you got Chiron in there, these are the things that we got to work on in order for us to be able to move past a lot of that energy that holds us back from being able to advance so that we can tap into that sage-like wisdom. This is where your triggers and shit be holding out. You know what I'm saying? Then the North Node, okay? So the North Node, when you got the North Node in the eighth house, it is time for you to get out of that comfort zone. You got to eliminate your attachments to what you already know and cultivate a deeper intimacy within yourself and within others. So, you know what I'm saying? This is a time for you to go ahead, steady moving forward, steady moving forward. When your South Node is in the eighth house, now, depending on other folks for money and security and everything, it's going to limit your sense of self-worth. When your South Node is in that eighth house, you're being called to put down all of this old shit that we was holding on to about being powerless and all of this other stuff. Is telling you this is a time for you to really step into your power, become more self-reliant, right? What a powerful time it is. And then when you notice, because see, there's going to be some eighth house transit that goes on in this street and out here in these streets. And this right here, when you get transits in your eighth house, this is an opportunity for you to learn, for you to grow. But you got to be bold and you got to put your big girl pants, big boy pants on out here in these streets, without a doubt. So when a planet transits your eighth house of your birth chart, it's going to expose your vulnerabilities, right? Now, this is the universe's way of illuminating how you can heal and transform into your best self, okay? What transpires is going to depend on the planet that's transiting and the ways that it interacts with the rest of your birth chart, though. Know that, right? So let's just talk about a little bit. And I'm just going to talk about like personal planets and how it's going to deal with you on a personal level. I ain't got time for all of that, you know, other shit, you know what I'm saying, that's out here. But let's talk about it. So the moon, when the moon is transiting your eighth house, which it does so each month, okay, your emotions may intensify. And you might feel like keeping to yourself for a few days. One thing I know, I got a Cancer moon. You know what I'm saying? So when that shit happens, I like to stay out of the way. Venus transit in my 8th house. You know what I'm saying? This is going to highlight issues concerning romantic intimacy. It could come from the forefront, or you might even enter a shared financial agreement with somebody or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's Venus transit in the 8th house. Mars, when it transits your 8th house, baby, sexual intimacy could be on the table. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that could be heightened up. But then also there's also some potential, you know what I'm saying, for any shame issues or vulnerabilities that might be in this regard and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a time for you to really allow yourself to do some deep, intense work in healing. This happens for you on a consistent basis in these personal planets so that you can get that personal growth that you need, so that you can build, so that you can heal, so that you can grow, so that you ain't out here, because you are the mystics out here. You the star players out here in these cosmic streets. You got to know this shit. This is going to help your light to shine brighter so that when somebody comes out here, you know, there's a record Brittany Vibes put out called Resilience. This is going to be some proper ass music that's going to help and navigate in this energy that we will be experiencing, because you will need resilience. And working with this 8th house, you will need to have this resilience so that you can be in a position to be open to healing. That's why you ain't running around triggered by every time somebody say something to you out of the way. And then you won't be in this mindset that tell you it's somebody else that's doing something the fuck to you, and not you not really being able to own your shit. I know that shit hurts, but that's it. That's just what it is. See, 8th house, it really helps you to recognize. I'm not even gonna get into all of these channels, all of these downloads. I just wanted to deal with this on a big way, because not only all of the realm of relationships, of intimacies, of jealousies, especially within these spiritual communities. We get so many downloads right now. We're getting so many upgrades right about now. And what I've been seeing is a lot of this competitive energy, a lot of this bullshit and third dimensional, low vibrational fuckery that's going on out here, where we got folks that's thinking that there's a hierarchy in these spiritual streets, where because I can do A, B, and C, and you may not have tapped into that ability, or you work a little bit differently, then that makes me better than you. Or maybe because, maybe they really trapped in this bullshit ass matrix where they think because they got more money, they got more bling bling, they got more assets or whatever in the fuck, you know what I'm saying, these things are, or they got more resources, connections, they know celebrity, whatever in the fuck it is, that make them a cut above the rest of y'all niggas out here. You know what I'm saying? We got this mentality that still keeps going on, and we got to really start recognizing the reverence, the sovereignty, the gangster that's in each and every one of us. There are no big eyes and little U's out here in these spiritual streets, and we need to recognize what's real. And we can't be hating on people that's out here doing their thing, that's doing it big and shit. We got to support folks. We got to support the gangster. We got to show the love, man. We really do. And then there's also an energy I want to talk about too, just real quick before I call it the day too, is this copycat imitation energy. You know what I'm saying? I think it was Coco Chanel who said, if you want to be original out here, then prepare to be copied. And this is one of those things where you can't run around telling everybody the shit that you do. You know what I'm saying? But the work that you've already put out there, if you go out there and you see somebody that's supposed to be, either a friend of yours, or maybe even just another colleague who's observed your work, liked your gangster, and tried to recreate that shit for themselves, I promise you it's a carbon copy. It's not going to be what they thought it was going to be. Let's put it just that way. See, you got to recognize how divine order works. We're going to work in our own gifts. It doesn't mean that it's not helpful. You know what I'm saying? Respect that somebody is really appreciating the work that you do and they want to do some shit like that for themselves. It's not really a time for us to be caught up in the semantics. So that's what you know what I'm saying? We got to really find our focus, step into our power, and not worry about the fuckery and the bullshit. You got to know it's when it's operating at a lower vibration, when it's operating from a place of fear, it's never going to give the impact that it does when it comes from a place of love, when it comes from the higher vibrational realms. The impact is different. So we can't be worrying about all of this shit, but make sure that you keep in a lot of the work that you're doing. You don't need to let everybody don't need. See, this is why we got to heal this 8th house shit. Because when we resolve this shit, you ain't got no need to be proving yourself to nobody out here in these streets. I did a quest out there that really helps us to go back and find some power at the Sirius cipher and everything. This was something that really helped me, because in one of these books, it was showing me about how, you know, we can go back to points in time to see the subconscious mind that don't really distinguish whether or not the shit really happened or not. When you go back, redo it, and reconnect to it, you line yourself up with the energy and you move forward a little bit stronger within that subconscious realm. And this is really an opportunity for us to really consider all of these options. But when we dive deep into this 8th house, this is going to really be that blueprint, that assistance that we need. So let me wrap this shit up. So in conclusion, the 8th house demands that we dig down to reveal those parts inside of ourselves that we're too scared, that we ain't trying to deal with and share with other folks. This undertaking, it inspires a process of transformation. That transformation is going to help to propel us towards our true selves. Now, when a planet, it transits the 8th house of our birth chart, it exposes our vulnerabilities. Let's not forget. So check in with the transits in your birth chart on a regular basis so that you'll get this opportunity to heal and grow. Because knowing when planets are transiting your 8th house, it allows you to brace yourself while remaining open to these powerful moments of change. And last but not least, I just want to say, if you want to transform your life, if you really want to show up big, if you really want to do some spiritual work in a big and powerful way, dive deep up into that 8th house, baby, because the water runs deep right there. Let me pull a card real quick before I roll out. Emotions are running high. I got that super moon card right here. That's 8th house, baby. 8th house, right? Emotions running high. The water runs deep. I give thanks to the divine plan of love unfolding. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Peace and light. Peace and love.